Welcome everybody to another episode of the Show Thoughts Podcast. I, of course, am the Big Show along with Samantha and Big E. What is so goddamn fucking funny?
You said welcome and you went really quiet, and Eric's face was just like, "What the fuck just happened?"
He wasn't ready for all that. He was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, I was ready. I was Undertaker ready.
Like I said, of course, I'm the Big Show. Of course, there's Big E and Samantha as always. Um, uh, we don't really got no topics this week. We're kind of just hodgepodging it. The three of us have kind of been busy all week.
What kind of word is hodgepodge? I mean, not saying I don't know, but like, did you turn 82 overnight?
No,
What the fuck happened?
So no, it was today. Like prime example was today. Is so we're at work and I got my schedule, which is like if it's certain days I go certain places. And the one coworker I have, his was all over the place. And I was like, man, you're a fucking little bit everywhere today. And our boss comes over. This is where it comes from. He's like, ah, now mind you, the guy's probably 6, 7 years older than me. Okay. He's like, yeah, I just gave you a little bit of a hodgepodge kind of route. I was like, a what? A what? And he was like, a hodgepodge kind of route. I was like, just say a crazy route, like a little bit of everywhere. Like, what? Do you give popcorn balls to kids? Like, what is fucking happening right now? It's just, and he was adamant to the bit. Like,
That was his word of the day, and he was sticking to it.
yeah, dude, it must have been on the calendar today. Hodgepodge. I'm like, how old's your fucking word of the day calendar, bro? Because I was like,
That's why I said it's not like I've never heard of it before. Like I've heard that phrase or whatever you want to call it used, but I was just like, it's always an old guy on a rocking chair on a porch twirling a pipe or whatever. Like,
or he's just out there whittling. You don't know what he's whittling. He's been whittling the same stick for 36 years. It just
that's
looks
like
like it looks like a prison shank.
I say it as a joke sometimes. I'll say like my Lanta because that was my great grandfather used to say that. Like I feel like it's again like an older generational phrase where he just because again they always didn't want to say like properly. You can't say like my God or you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
so he was always like my Lanta. I'm like,
well, like
okay.
he makes like the comical, stereotypical white voice come out in my head when he talks. Like he talks like the stereotypical Caucasian, like, gee golly gosh, that's a hodgepodge kind of route right there.
Like when
You
you
know what?
talk
You're gonna
about
have
him, like even if it's not on the podcast, I mean you're just bullshitting a day or something, and you're like, yeah, my boss. I always picture like a TV sitcom type of boss, like not one in particular. Like I wouldn't say like, uh, like The Office or anything like. But I just picture this like he sounds like he could be a TV character boss.
yeah. I mean, certain shit he does, like he'll say certain things, and then I look at him like, how old are you? Because like it does. Like he'll do flabbergasted, and I'm like, what? And he'll go,
I'm gonna use
yeah,
that this week.
right.
I'm
Well, like it just left
flabbergasted.
me flabbergasted. I'm like, what is happening? So when he talks in those fucking certain words, it makes like the stereotypical Caucasian fucking dad in my head pop in and be like, that route's gonna leave you flabbergasted today. And I'm like,
Does he have a white button up on with a pen protector in his pocket? Like,
no, not at all. Like he'll be dressed in the uniforms like we are or something like that, or like a
does he
very
push up his glasses like that? Yeah.
he don't even wear glasses.
Oh, he's fancy. He's a upscale boss.
Yeah, but I mean like some of this shit. Like he like when something happens, it's like anybody, I say 90% of the people, they'll say like oh shit or oh fuck or
Mm-hmm.
Jesus or something of that nature. Like God damn it, dude. His is great because I feel like I'm with Charlie Brown. Because as soon as something happens, it's like, man, I got like a 46 box pickup, and that was supposed to be like 20 boxes. Oh, good grief! I'm like, what? What? What is what? Right? What? And I just then like my mind starts going, of course, for this show, and
Yeah.
I just sit there and I'll be like, one day he's gonna come and be like, good grief! I'm so flabbergasted off this hodgepodge route right here, and I'm gonna be like, wow. I'm gonna SpongeBob and I'm just gonna head out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even. I'm not even gonna look and see what the fuck I have today because I really don't care. You just used three words that I thought like 90-year-old men say. Like,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
but that's him, and I'm just like, wow. Like, that's
Sam,
why
your
the
light's
hot.
real bright. It's in my eye. Like, it's shining. Like I feel like the sunlight's still out there, but the light. No, I'm just kidding.
That was like that's that's the saintly heaven shining down on Sam. That's what it is.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, but yeah, it's that. But that's where the hodgepodge shit came from
there
today.
is not no angel hanging over her. She just fucking went and saw Disturbed. That's that. There's no. Well, I guess he technically does have that song out, Angel, right now, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, but the best part about this is why I fucking love Sam is you go into her socials and you see she's at Disturbed and you see her with her phone and she's like this and all these tall people were in front of her. And I'm like, all she wants to do is catch like somebody from the band. And it's literally between two hands like a fucking goalpost. And it's like, wait, click, I got him. Like,
Yep.
there's a
Now
point
I got
where
to admit, your the one video you posted of like the intro,
Hmm.
which I had that intro is really cool because I'd seen it online on their like YouTube channel. They posted part of the
Hmm.
tour, so that was really cool. But to see like your, I get yeah your angle of it, like, but you couldn't like without knowing you like if it was somebody that didn't know you, they'd be like, oh, it's just a normal. And I'm like, damn, that's a pretty. Was Samson on someone's shoulders for that angle? Like she got a good shot of the stage. I was like, she's standing on her seat, jumping up and down for that one.
I was in section what, three, two or three, I can't remember, but it was like really close to the stage, but not in the pit.
Yeah.
And like there were like two rows in front of me. And all the tall people came out in front of me. Like the lady who was directly in front, she was really nice because she kept looking back. She goes, "Oh, sweetheart, you're not gonna be able to see over my head." So she would like scoot over and she would let me
Yeah.
try to get in between so I could see. But there were like so many drunks in the front who were just so like everywhere. So I was just like, I'm just gonna like literally. I'm not even joking. You, my calves hurt because I was so high on my tippy toes that I was like, I gotta get it. Let's go.
stop it.
There was a couple of your shots. I was like, oh, yep, that's somebody's shoulder. Yep, that's a shoulder. I was like,
It was just funny to look at because like again, like it's again all love, but you could just if you know Sam, like we all know Sam, and then you look at the photos and I'm like, this bitch had a tough ass fucking time right there.
that's what
Like
I'm saying. Like if you don't know Sam, like you're just like okay, whatever. But like if you know her, like we do, like I am visually in my mind, I was picturing you taking that picture, and like
Mm-hmm.
you said, you
yeah.
standing on your tiptoes is what I was kind of. I'm like,
Yeah.
did they let her bring in a step stool? Did she say, hey, listen, this is like my this is like
You
my
guys should have
emotional
gotten.
support ladder. I need to bring my emotional support ladder with me because I gotta be able to see.
You guys would have like found it so funny because it was like, so I'm here, it was like a row, right? And it was a little kid, he was probably about like maybe 10, his mom, who was just about my height, maybe a little bit more, then
10-year-old
another
was
kid who
taller
was
than
like,
Sam.
yeah, and then there was like probably like a 12 or 13 year old who was standing next to me. He was my height, right? And then all of a sudden you get all the really tall ones. So it's just out. It's like one, two, three, four. The four of us who were like all my height, right? And then all of a sudden it's like everybody around us. So when you're looking from a distance, you see everybody but us.
Sam's sitting there trying to like count how many people like all right, one, two, three. You think we can make a makeshift totem pole real quick? You get the phone, all right, and just keep snapping. I don't care what you get. No selfies. No selfies.
They're
You
taking turns passing up each other's phones so everybody gets a turn on their capture it.
But the guy
That's
behind me was like 7 foot. He was massive. He was tall, right? And I kept feeling bad because I was on my tippy toes going as high as I could. And I kept looking back. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He goes, honey, I can see well over you. He's like, you're
yeah.
good.
You on your tippy toes is not going to be a problem.
Right. He's like, he's looking at you, and he literally was like, I can still see.
Yeah.
It's
It's fine.
like, you're good.
He's probably like, I'd have been like, can I just sit on your shoulder like a parrot? Can you just put me right there? Like, can I
Just how about we have like a 2 song like max, 1 song
yeah.
minimum. All right, like you know what? Give me like let's see, recording. Give me like a minute, a 30 seconds max. Okay, sorry.
Joe, you're doing it. You're like your volume's
Boy,
going up and down. Can you notice it too, Sam?
Yeah.
He said that last week people
yeah.
had, I guess, comment or whatever and said his volume was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Because you're,
happens is YouTube will glitch, or it looks like you're buffering, and when that happens, my voice will drop in and out.
Because
oh.
when me and you recorded, it didn't do that.
Yeah. But then like it's weird. Like if I see you spin, like it comes back into focus. All of a sudden, that's what happens. I drop my voice back and forth, and all of a sudden I get flabbergasted. I don't know.
Oh, brother.
Oh, good
Oh,
grief!
good
No,
grief.
but you know what was really cool about the Disturbed concert, Eric, is that they did a lot of repeat. Like they kind of reenacted everything from day one. So there were a lot of things that they did on stage where like going back to when they first
Yeah,
started.
because like that entrance, so like the curtain was a big part. I went to the very first tour ever. The very first
Mhm.
time they played, it was still actually the Mellon Arena or Civic Arena. They played there. That was the first time I no second. That was the first time they were headlining. That's when
Mhm.
again what is it, 20 years now for the that
25.
25 for that album. Yeah, so that was their first headline tour, and they did that. They had the sheet, or no, they didn't headline that tour. They opened for somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but they just had the white sheet because again they weren't that big, so they didn't have like this elaborate stage setup
Mhm.
like they do now. So they just had the white sheet literally, and it did it. I don't remember for this show. Did it fall or go up? Did it
It
drop?
went down. It dropped.
Yeah, that's kind of what they did. It just dropped, but that's when he originally started the Hannibal Lecter. Like he came out in the straitjacket. Now, one thing I don't think they did that they did back then was, so they brought him out on the dolly, just
Hmm.
like masked and all straitjacketed. But then they put him in an old school wooden electric chair and they
They did that.
electrocuted him. So
He
did
did
they?
that. Yeah, look in
Yeah.
my go back on my Instagram, you'll see it. I took photos, but I
Oh,
also
okay.
recorded it. Like he did that towards the middle because he did 2 parts of it. He did one where it was like the first 4 songs were like massive hits, people like knew them off the album, and then he went
Yeah.
into a couple of others. And then they took a 20-minute intermission break. And then when he came back, they called that part, the second part, the greatest hits. And that's
Oh,
where
okay.
he went real into all their top singles. And it
Gotcha.
was, I think it was like right before, it was either right before the intermission or after the intermission, he did the electric chair.
Electric. Oh, okay. So yeah, he did that. That was all one how they introed then. So it's
Hmm.
cool that he still does that too. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I even commented on your thing. Like I was so jealous because I think we've even talked about it before. Like I wish I would have been. I could have went to that show. Just because I've seen Disturbed almost every time they've come.
Hmm.
This is like, and again, I feel like they'll probably go on tour again, but like, I just feel like too, they're getting older. Like, you never know how long
Hmm.
bands are going to tour for. So I would like to see them before it ends.
Yeah.
So I
I
was quite
really
jealous.
like they did something new with the 25th. So like any merchandise that you purchase, like if it's a
Mm-hmm.
shirt, they have this special patch on the end of the shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and you use your phone to like actually get access into Disturbed fan information. Like it creates your own little portfolio, and you get like merchandise that way, and it gives
Oh,
you
cool.
like all the backstage, like them filming their making their album, back scenes from like years ago, and then like photos from that show.
Yeah, I just downloaded the anniversary edition of the album.
Mhm.
And there's so much on there that's pretty cool. I haven't gotten through all of it yet, but there's a lot on there. So yeah, I was quite jealous of that. But yeah. Who
Yeah, you missed one
you
hell of a
had?
show.
You had what? Daughtry, and was it not? Who was the other? Nothing
It
more.
was Nothing More, followed by Daughtry, and then it was. This is where you could tell a lot of people don't pay attention because on the banner it says 3 days grace, but you got to look in the fine print because there's a little asterisk that says certain shows only, like select shows that
Yeah,
they're going to be performing at. And so many people showed up being like, well, where was 3 days grace? Why did they back out? Why didn't they? And I was like, they never backed out. This was not one of their shows.
yeah. That's why. Last year, me and Donna went and saw Heart perform, and the only reason, well, I can say it's the only reason. I mean, I wanted to see Heart again. They're one of those that group. Like you never know. Like this is kind of like we're getting back together because there's a whole thing with them. But anyways, they could be done touring, so I wanted to see them before they finished. But they were also one of those bands that they were last summer. There was that big, like, I don't know, it was like an '80s rock fest that was going around. It was like Motley Crue. Um, who else was on it? Def Leppard, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Journey. And Heart was, like you said, they were an asterisk band that they were only playing certain cities.
Mm-hmm.
When that fest came to Pittsburgh, they weren't part of it. They came separately for their own tour. So I think that's what it is. Is I think that if both of the if 3 Days Grace is touring, if they're in a city nearby where Disturbed's tour is, then they'll be like, oh hey, we'll jump on the bill. But
Yeah.
if we're across the country, then we're not coming all the way over. Just
Because
so
they got
yeah,
their
like you
own
said,
thing going.
people don't pay attention. It's
I was
what we
gonna
said,
say to
stupid dumb
Sam's point,
people.
they don't pay a fucking attention.
No.
Like
No.
there is like when Sam said that, like, so Cole Swindell is coming and he
Mm,
has two acts coming with him on the tour.
yeah.
Now, if you look at the dates, they have letters by who it
Mm-hmm.
is. This person's this person's this side, this person's this side, and it says some may intertwine. If you
Mm-hmm.
go to the comment section, it's like, so they're not going to be at every tour. Do you not fucking read? Like,
No.
it clearly says, "Ba, ba, 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 ba."
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
Like,
That's
happens with
like
Kenny Chesney does that too. Like he'll have select bands that go to select cities with him, and then
correct.
people like you'll see it all over social media. Where like Sam was like, people will be like, well, why didn't so and so come to this? Like, well, because it says like, and it'll even say too. Not even will it be like an asterisk for that band. It'll say like lineup card or whatever due to subject to change. Like it's never.
mm-hmm.
But like you said, people, you fucking idiots.
Why wasn't this
that
person there? Why wasn't this band there? I
uh-huh.
don't know. Why the fuck can't you read?
Yeah.
That's like Ghost is coming. They're on tour. Well, they start the U.S. tour on my birthday. I always laugh about that because I'm like, he loved me. So, so it said like literally when he announced his tour dates, he posted underneath there. He like at the bottom of the thing, it said that this will be a phone-free concert. And
Mhm.
it was a whole big thing that he went into. And it even said it on Ticketmaster before you purchased. This will be a phone-free event. I cannot tell you how many people freaked out when there was an article that was released by Tobias saying why he went phone free. What do you mean it's phone free? What do you mean? Did you guys not read when you bought the tickets? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Toll does the same thing.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Don't bring your fucking phone because they'll
Yeah.
confiscate it until the end of the fucking thing. Well, like when we went and saw Toll, at the end, he was like, okay, you guys played nice. You guys can record this last song or do
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want. You know what I mean? But to your point, if I said this show is only going to have three guests, Why is there a fourth one? Why didn't we have four? Like,
Yeah.
you're telling me we're recording this in segments? Why are you recording it in segments? It's just to bitch. It's
Yeah.
Hmm.
just to bitch.
Yep.
And just because, so you can't sit there with your goddamn the whole time, and then you have somebody who is behind you, regardless of stature. They can't watch the show because they're looking through your fucking camera and your phone watching the show.
But devil's advocate here, okay? Devil's advocate. When you are 4'10" and you can't see over people's heads, that's the only way you can really enjoy a show.
Well, in this situation, if you're 4'10" and there's a fucking 7 foot fucking giant behind you, then there's an exception. Because obviously he's still gonna see the show because your hands are gonna go up and you maybe be about 5'4" on a good day. But I'm just saying, like, like pay attention. Like
Yeah.
you
It's
said, if you're paying for the ticket, it clearly says phone fucking free. That does not mean, hey, I'm gonna try to slip it in. You're still not gonna get it. The ushers will
No.
be up your ass.
Mm-hmm. Because
yeah.
what
That's
I
it's.
know,
Go
Tobias
ahead.
said that for the ghost tour, what he's doing is that they have like these like little cases that you're gonna hold on to where you put your
Yeah.
smartphone
Yes.
and you're watching it, and like you can
Yep.
only open them at certain designated areas.
Yeah.
So I was like, as long as I don't, I mean, I'm going to New York City. As long as I don't have to leave my phone, at home, I'm good. I'm okay. As long as I know I
No.
have my
It.
phone on me, like I don't care. I don't care that I
Yeah. A
can't take a
lot of
picture.
the. I don't know too many music acts that are doing it. Like you guys. I mean, that's two right there. He went to one, and now you're going to be going to one. Stand up comedy is real. I think this is where it really started. Is stand up comedy is really big on not allowing phones at their shows because a lot of times they're trying out new material for the first time, and they're
Hmm.
working on their gimmicks, or they're you know maybe they're working on prepping for like their big you know Netflix
Sure.
special or
Yeah.
something, so they don't want anything to get leaked or just put out there. And they did. I know Chappelle is big. He was one of the first ones that if you go to a Chappelle comedy show of any kind, yeah, the pouches. It's just a clear pouch, and it like locks. There's like a little zipper that locks, and yeah, you have to have some like that's probably what it'll be. Is like if you go to this designated area, there'll probably be like an usher or like a security guard that'll have
Hmm.
the key to unlock it. Like if there's maybe an emergency, or let's say you're somebody with kids, you got to call and check on the sitter or something
Yeah.
dumb. But then they're gonna make sure you put it right back in and lock it right back up before you walk
Hmm.
away from it.
Kevin Hart's was it's black. It was like black with like a green zipper.
Mm,
And then one it was blacked out. Like that
yeah,
way anybody couldn't, but I mean like that still kind of sucks because again, to your point, E, what if there is a problem and you have kids or
Hmm.
something of that nature? Like I'm not
yeah,
gonna want to leave the show when I could just, if I could just flip my phone and be like, oh, okay, or even be able to answer it through the pouch, at least on the front. Like in
Hmm.
Sam's case, or like the Chappelle, if it's clear on the front, and if I'm able to at least, yo, I'm at this concert, I'll call you back, or I'm doing this show. Like, what's the emergency? Something of that nature. I get both sides.
yeah,
Like for an emergency to answer your shit, but I get why the artist doesn't want the shit leaked.
yeah. It's
It's
understandable from both
Hmm.
sides. It's just, I mean, that's just the thing. Is like, you know, we were just kind of talking about this when I was telling you about the McAfee show. Like, I sent you some clips. I recorded a few moments, and I didn't record the whole song. I didn't record like what I sent you was the full recording. Like, I didn't clip those down so that you could use them on the show. Like, those were the full. I think the longest one was like 35, 40 seconds. Like,
yeah.
because I'm there to like I guess I'm old school. Like I'm there to experience the show. I paid money to watch the show. Yes, there's some moments that I want to remember or be like, "Oh yeah, I was there." You know what I mean? For my own personal kind of keepsake, but I'm there to enjoy the show. Like I told you, like that one recording was useless. Now I saved it for my own self, but it was useless because I was too busy singing along and carrying on that you couldn't hear the singer through my recording because I was singing over them.
Right,
Like,
but in a way, you're living like your moment, and
Mhm.
you're capturing those
yeah,
moments. Like back to the McAfee show, there was a fucking woman in the crowd that never put her phone down.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I was
yeah,
about to say that because when I was at the Disturbed concert, there was a man who was like, I don't know, like the row ahead of me, but over to the right. The whole concert, the phone was up. He recorded the whole concert. And I
Right,
was
that's what
just
I
like,
mean. Like, I don't that that irritate. And I mean, and to each is their own. Like, that's your like again. If that's the way you want to remember the concert was by watching it through your phone the whole time, like that's just like I don't understand people that get blackout drunk at concerts because I'm like I paid money again to go enjoy the show. I don't mind having a beer or two or something. You know what I mean? Like you're there to
mhm,
enjoy it, but like I don't want to get to the point to where I'm like, you. I mean, Paul, you experience it with country. Sam, you see it at rock shows. Like I think those are the
mhm.
two big culprits. You'll find motherfuckers passed out, face down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just wasted. Okay, we know how much tickets costed. We know how much them fucking pounders were you were putting down.
Mhm.
Like,
right.
you just blew probably a couple $100 to have to be, you know, like picked up and dragged out of here because you
Mhm.
fucking like that's. I mean, look at that guy, Paul. When we went to that I don't know if it was the same the Toby Keith where the dude was so passed out we were drawing on him with Sharpie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like, I mean, like, how do you want to? That's horrible.
Well,
Right, and then you think
that's
about that because he's totally inebriated, totally hammered. And then if you remember, Eric, security caught him, so he had to go into their drunk tank. So when
Yeah,
he wakes up, whatever, he either could have got a ride home from it, or just
yeah,
the sheer like awareness when you wake up, be like, what the fuck? Wait a minute,
mhm.
am I in like the fucking? Am I in the Star Lake jail? Like,
yeah. Like
you
that's
know
what
what
I
I
mean.
mean?
Like,
Am I in the arena fucking jail? Like they're holding me here? Like, you don't want
that,
your memory to be you're fucking hammered.
no,
See, but like, I'm also gonna say like to each their own. But like, I know I personally don't think I would ever do this if I were in that situation. There was a woman who was like in front of me in the row in front of me. She had to be at least 8 months pregnant. She's huge. Like I swear, the amount of times that she left to go use the restroom, by the end of it, she couldn't stand up. Her back was killing her. She was just like, "I'm ready to go." I was like, "Honey, I know you wanted to join this music, but like 8 months, that's a
well,
bit much."
I mean, me again. Me and Paul just got into a conversation. So I went to the Pat McAfee show last night,
Hmm.
and like I said, it's been a hell of a week. I blew my back out Sunday. And I was like, nothing is fucking stopping me from going to this show. I okay, we'll say this on air. I loaded up some narcotics, put a fucking paint. I was like, Donna, stick this paint patch right across my back. We're out. Like I'm going. And I'm like,
Hmm.
so I can understand that lady where she's probably like, I don't want to miss this. Like, I mean, being pregnant and having your back like broken is probably two different scenarios, but like, you know, I kind of get probably where her mind was though, where she's like, I'm
Yeah.
not, fuck this.
Right,
Like,
like this
But see,
kid's
like
gonna
that's
fucking
why I
wait.
said to each their own. I personally wouldn't because like if my feet are killing me, I mean my whole body was killing me by the end of it, and that was just not me being not pregnant, standing there tippy toes. Like I can't imagine what she was going through, the
Well,
pain that
honey,
she
you were on
felt.
your damn tiptoes the entire damn time, you poor
I
thing.
know.
Your fucking feet must be killing you. Your ankles and your knees. It's like these motherfuckers.
She walked out here with a
Well,
blown Achilles. She's like, I ripped my Achilles.
What I'd have did is
my
I'd have stood up
calves
on the
hurt,
fucking
my feet
folding
hurt,
chair.
my head hurt from banging. Like
I would have. I'd have stood on the folding chair, but like, you're still good, right? You're still 7 foot. Like, we still good? Yeah, yeah. All right, you're good. All
Okay,
right.
well here, listen. Here we go. Here's the difference. We'll compare. So Sam's, like I said, I know there was one video where you could tell Sam was struggling to see over the people in front of her. You could most of my clips that I sent you or that I've posted in the past 24 hours, there was no one in front of me. The people, we all pretty much stayed seated during the show because of the angle of our where we were sitting. But anyways, when Snoop came out, everybody was standing, but you wouldn't know that there was a pretty somewhat tall guy standing in front of me because I was able to maneuver and angle around him, unlike Sam. Like
Right,
I'm
but
like,
but with Sam's photos, you could tell that Sam was maneuvering and getting there, and was like,
well, she was trying.
motherfucking shit, god, move.
Like I said,
See, I
I
took advantage when so the band came back early. It said be back in 20 minutes, but they came back in 15, right? And there were so many who were still out at the bathroom getting drinks, and the first 2 rows were empty, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Sam was like, this is my goddamn moment, hurry up.
Right?
I gotta get as much footage as I can now.
Right?
You know what I would have fucking truly did in your situation? Say people would have came back, say they would have came back in 20 minutes, and you were kind of in a bone situation. I'd have been like, hey, come on, help, help me out, motherfucker. You're with your jolly green ass. Let's go. Come on, please, please.
See, but that's what I miss about pre-COVID concerts, because pre-COVID, all you had to do was buy a general admission ticket, get your ass there early when the doors open, and you fucking bolt to the stage.
Yes.
And that was it. And once you bolted back there, there's so many people were like, oh, you're short, let's go, let's go. They didn't care. But now it's oh, you want to get in the pit, you have to pay extra, you have to do all this. And I'm like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
No, I was telling Paul, I don't think I told you a little bit. So yesterday there was a problem with, they were doing rehearsals and I think there was an electrical problem.
Yeah,
So
there
the
was
show
something
got,
wrong with the electricity.
so the show got delayed. Doors were supposed to open to the arena at 6:30. Show started at 8. They weren't opening doors until 7:30.
Oh, wow.
So at that point, Yinzers were getting a little restless. And we were mixing Yinzers with some West Virginia fucks. So there
And
was not a good
Philadelphia.
scene. And some Philadelphians. So it was getting a little restless. The crowd, we could feel the crowd because we were close to the door. Shout out Mike for getting us a good spot. We were close to the doors. We could feel the crowd coming behind. We could just feel it, feel it, feel it. And I'm like, Mike, he goes, I know this is not going to go good. They're going to open those doors. And it happened. They opened the doors and it was a fucking stampede. I
It was like
grabbed
Black
Donna.
Friday at 6 a.m. up in this bitch.
I grabbed Donna, sandwiched her in between me and Mike. He was like, I got you. He knew what I was doing. He was like, actually switched me spots because I had the tickets on my phone. So he was like, you be the lead. I just fucking Jerome Bettis it through that crowd. I'm like, but my thing is, why was everybody rushing? We all had fucking seats. There was no pit. There was no. You all had an assigned fucking seat. Why were we rushing? There was no rush to get in.
Maybe they thought because did they announce to you that the start time was different?
No.
That's probably why.
Once we got inside, there was on those TVs throughout the arena and stuff. There was on there that countdown and that you saw, Paul, where it said show new start time.
Yeah.
We saw all of that, but I think at one point he did put it up on Twitter and on his socials that there was a delay in the show, but I don't think people were paying attention to it outside, and I don't know when, because I did kept going to his Twitter feed what is going on, what is going on. So it did. And like I said, we were supposed to meet up with Jen and Craig. We never hooked up with them because they were way in the back of the line. If you ever been down to the arena, which both of you have, it's not the same restaurant, but there's on Fifth Avenue, there was a TGI Fridays, but it's something else now.
Yeah.
The line went all the way down Fifth Ave, past there, probably a good 2 blocks down Fifth Avenue, back towards Oakland, leaving town. And then it wrapped up around, because we were at that EQT entrance.
Yep.
And then it wrapped up around the church and onto wherever the Washington Place or whatever the hell that street is there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
That's
then
what
it started intermixing with the crowd that was trying to get in at the top where the Lemieux statue is.
Mhm.
And it
Because
was
that's
like,
what happened with Disturbed. Like I got there, so I parked my car at 3 because they were like, "Oh, parking lots are going to open at 3." So I was like, "All right, well, I'll go, whatever." So I parked in the garage, and then I was just kind of chilling in my car. Like I was actually doing work in the car, but then like 5 o'clock came. It was like 10 to 5, and I was like, "All right, I'm going to go line up." So I get out, and the line, because I went in the same entrance you did,
mm-hmm,
and the line was like really short. It was nothing, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it's up there." Literally, the doors opened at 5:30. By 5:30, there was not a single, like, if you looked around, the same thing happened. Went all the way up towards the church. Like the
mm-hmm,
line continued all the way down where the Super Bowl is, like all the way down past the garage,
yeah,
and then all the way in the other direction.
yeah. Yeah, it was, but we could just tell because then like people were starting to like make their own lines, which weren't
Mm-hmm.
lines, and you could just tell people were getting restless. And it was like, listen, I get it. We're all standing here. We all thought that the doors opened at 6:30. It's now quarter after 7, and we're still wondering what's going on. Like,
Right.
and they
But like
finally opened.
they should have like common knowledge that something's going on. The show's not canceled. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
something's happening. But you think about it too, you know, tailgating, they probably were drinking.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Morons could be morons. And then they're in the line like, what the fuck? Take the law. Yeah. No.
Now, can either one of you fill me in? Who is this guy? Like, what was the big deal about him? Because I've
That's
never
all
heard of
right.
him.
Eric will take it from here.
So this is why. Good call, Paul. We. So does she know what we did earlier?
No. So what we did before we did this one is we actually did an episode about yesterday about the show because with all due respect to you, you'd be sitting there doing
I'd be twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah,
yeah.
we had a
You'd be
feeling you
eating
didn't
fucking
know what.
Cheetos while we're sitting there talking about it. So
So yeah, so
we
me and him
started.
recorded a little
We did like
uh
what happened.
McAfee episode. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so Pat McAfee is born and raised Yinzer. He's from Plum.
Okay.
He went to West Virginia, played football. He's a kicker. And he had some he was a good part of the whole Pitt West Virginia rival. He knew he knew like the good deep meaning of the backyard brawl because he was born and raised in Pittsburgh. So he knew the hatred between the two schools and he fed off of it.
Okay.
And then he became an NFL kicker. He played for the Indianapolis Colts for 9 years. And then he kind of got in some trouble. Let's just say he has one of the most famous celebrity mugshots. Um, and he admits to it. But he realized that he needed football wasn't going to be his life, especially being a kicker. Like he was like, this isn't going to be my life. So he's always had this kind of like I don't know, like he likes being an entertainer. Like he likes stand up comedy stuff like that. So he's always dabbled in that world, and he decided that he decided I'm retiring from football at a young age. Got out of football, took all the money he got from football, and invested it in becoming an entertainer. But he started a podcast show, kind of like what me and Paul did with
Mm-hmm.
his friends. That turned into a whole YouTube channel, and it turned into a daily YouTube show. And they talked about sports, but it was a more comedy side of sports, not like the serious, you know.
Not the serious analytical shit that we see on ESPN all the time.
Yeah. So in uh, he yeah. So now, so as Paul says that he got so famous that his show is now on ESPN.
Oh
Correct.
wow.
So now he's like worldwide famous. He's also had a dream of being a wrestler.
Worldwide famous, and yet I never even know who. That's
Well, but
sad.
I mean, he's worldwide famous, but it is like a special niche, I think, crowd that he appeals to.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now he also works for WWE. So he wrestles. Uh, he'll tell you he's undefeated in 2 WrestleManias, but he's also one of the main commentary guys for Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
So,
But he also hosts Saturday. Saturday College Game Day.
Yeah, he also is big in the college game day. Yeah, he hosts a show with a bunch of the other guys.
Yeah.
On Saturday mornings during college football season. So he's big in the sports world, big in the wrestling world. But I've been following his career and his path since probably, I would say college a little bit. Again, college more, which is I knew of him as a football player. I knew him in the NFL, but like I told Paul, I've always just supported him because he's a local guy. You know, you always want to root for the local guy.
Yeah.
And he's just so what he did last night was again he's always had this dream, and he talked about it in the show last night, which Paul got to watch at home on YouTube, but me and Donna went live, obviously. And we he grew up watching old school variety shows with his grandma, and he wanted to do something like that. Like again, he loves entertainment, so he wanted to do some type of variety show. So to give you a quick, you could watch the other episode that
I
me
was
and him
like, no, just
recorded.
let her watch the damn thing. She watches the damn show.
Yeah, but let's just say he had we had two concerts. Well, three, I guess you could say. Four, well, maybe four. The, the country part was a small. He only sang two songs, but
Yeah,
it's still a
but like,
concert.
yeah.
And we didn't know, so he never announced what the show was. You just knew you were going to a variety show, but we did not know what the entertainment was.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
everything that happened was a surprise. So yeah, you can, like I said, if you want to
But
watch the
yeah,
other
but like,
episode.
that's
Yeah.
basically Pat
I don't want to give it
McAfee.
away because it is really entertaining. Like what happened. But like, so there was some concerts. There was a magician. There
What?
was
There was some wrestling.
there
Was it
was
at least a good magician?
there was that Oz the Mentalist. Do you know who he is?
No.
He's like one of those like mind, like not like you know. I'm gonna make a bird come out of a hat, but like he does like those mental tricks where he can like guess what number you're thinking,
Yeah, like
or
a
you know what I mean.
mentalist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
not like Chris Angel, not like a mind freak, but
I'm over Chris Angel. He grew. I don't
yeah,
know.
he
I
got
grew tired of
weird.
him.
I used to
He
like him,
did
but he
get
got
weird.
weird.
but I
But
mean,
he,
if you want, you can like you could listen to the episode we did, and then it's on YouTube too.
Did you upload it yet?
No,
Well, how can I listen to it if you haven't uploaded it yet?
when we're done. I was like, or people can go on YouTube and check it out because it's
Hulu, it's on Hulu. That like the concert or like the show that I went to last night. It's on Hulu.
No way.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out now because I got Hulu.
See, and then you can know who Pat McAfee is
it's the Pat McAfee Big Night
at
at
HAT at.
Pacific. Yeah, he really uses his Yinzer accent.
Yeah, he uses his
Um,
ginger accent like crazy.
but yeah, there was some wrestling stuff involved. Again, like he's the WWE helped him produce the show, so he
Mhm.
included some wrestling things. There was some very large fat guys. There was a guy with his ass out. I guess it was three guys with their asses out. There was a drunk
Look, it's damn
guy.
there with sumo wrestling. Okay, you just gotta watch it.
Again, I did
It's
not
a
know
whole
I was
bunch
going to
of
a fucking
randos.
sumo show last night, but I was intrigued because I almost won a fucking $250,000. But
Yeah, yeah, like
he
it's
gave
wild.
he ended the show by giving away $2 million to a couple.
$1 million.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
All in all, he gave away for something. They tell you in the show at the end of the night what he gave away. They also donated like all the different celebrities
Mhm.
were donating. Like he would say, "Oh, well, I was going to pay this celebrity to be here tonight," and the celebrity would be like, "I don't want the money. Like I'm here just to do this because it's fun. Just give the
Mhm.
money to a charity," and then they would name a charity. So like they raised like $150,000 for Pittsburgh Public Schools.
No
yeah,
way. That's awesome.
They
yeah,
donated to Pennsylvania Special Olympics, which Paul, I figured you'd be happy with that one.
yeah. There was a
And
hundred
then
thousand dollars donated to Special Olympics in PA.
yeah, 100,000 for yeah, and then there was another 100,000 to the Hope Foundation,
Yep.
and Pittsburgh Public School. There might have been another one in there I'm forgetting, but yeah, it was all local charities. Like it was all local stuff. So it was really cool. And then he gave away $2 million. Me and Donna almost, well, I can't say me. Donna almost won $250,000. And then he gave away two different $100,000 prizes.
So
Like
what do you
just
mean
cash.
she almost won?
Well,
So they were
no,
picking.
because now you're going to give away the farm, and people are going to be like, "We're already talking about this."
Yeah, it's on the episode. I explained the whole
Okay.
thing with Donna in the episode, in the
Yeah, it was like,
McAfee episode, as we're calling it that.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's like
we're
I
gonna
just said,
promote that
but like
episode on
it's
this
like
episode.
we're already
You
we're
gotta
already been
watch it.
down that road.
You gotta watch it.
You
No,
gotta watch it. You
yeah.
gotta watch the big night act.
I don't want to say it's a long story, but there's some details. You just have to watch our podcast and then watch
Okay.
the Hulu thing, and you'll be like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit!"
and then like once you like watch both or listen to both or whatever, they did gel well. You'll get it.
Yeah,
But
it
it
was
was
fun.
like, but like that's pretty much your synopsis on. Hey, that's Pat McAfee.
Yeah, but yeah, you mainly asked who Pat McAfee was. That's
Yeah, and
just a
Eric was
local
there
guy
like
that got
laughing. I'm like,
famous and gives back to the city. Like I
yeah,
said, he's
Eric
from
was like, why
Plum.
did you talk about this? I'll talk about it again.
He's the main backer for Plum Sports at the high school and stuff. Like he pays for all their like equipment and everything. Like he really gives back to this. Like he really like he's one of those guys that loves is not afraid to admit where he's from. Again, he
Mhm.
never lost his Yinzer accent. Even on his ESPN show, everything is
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. Ease Pittsburgh. I
yeah,
mean, he sits there and has a jug of Turner's tea on his desk live on the show. Like
right.
he's not
Yeah.
afraid, to. And his buddies from Pittsburgh are part of his crew, so they all have their slang, and he has to explain most of the time what he's talking about.
Right. And then Sam, the last thing I will touch on, and you'll this is probably the reason why you'll watch it, is so the Pirates fans were chanting to sell the team on various fucking occasions. So
Well, look, this isn't
again,
a giveaway. I didn't talk about this on our episode. I mentioned that we did touch a little bit, but so he had. I told you he had a couple like of his wrestling
Mhm.
WWE people on, and the guy that he announces Raw with, Michael Cole, is the famous WWE announcer. If you don't know, so he was there, and he was talking about they were talking about the Pirates, and the "Sell the Team" chant started.
Mhm.
And Michael Cole is a huge Mets fan because he's from the New York, New Jersey area. He's a big Mets fan, and he goes, "What? You're going to sell the team so you can have an owner like ours?" And he called out your guy's owner.
Oh, I think
And
that's
I was
nice,
like, "Oh wow! Like he just did that. Like okay, I see this is where this is going."
well,
Like
yeah, because he was wondering what they were saying, and Pat went up to him. He's like, "They're saying sell the team, like the Pirates, like sell
Hey,
the team."
well, if they sold the team that and followed in Uncle Steve's footsteps, they would be a number 2 right now.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
you guys have had better years than we had, so I can't say that your owner.
I don't know, dude. You were very, very open on that fucking opening day podcast, and then like since then, I'm like, I'm seeing some shitting in the bed. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's.
I
I
don't know.
thought,
I
hey,
saw
we
on
won two in
Facebook
a row, and I got
that
happy. I was like, oh shit, it's coming. We're turning it around. We won, and then we lost, and I was like, oh nope, never mind. Like, here you go. I mean, it's horrible when you get happy about two wins. Like, that's not good.
to me, I swear, I believe like the Pirates are like that girl that you're really into or that guy, and it's like, man, you know what? They just give me the feels and they give me all the signs, and then what do they do? Friend zone you. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is. Or they give you blue balls, or they
but
overstimulate you, and it's like, I
the
have to go home.
the
Sorry.
really delusional fans that I keep seeing on Facebook, I feel like are the ones who like going down that path of, oh, she's so beautiful. I need it. Like I really want, even though they see all the red flags, they're just like, I must have her.
like listen, it's to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not even supporting the Pirates. I'm not wearing a Pirates hat the rest of the season. Like, I'm done. And then I had on my fancy Pat McAfee shirt yesterday that I ordered last time I was at Paul's house. Um, and I was like, got my Pat McAfee shirt. I'm gonna wear it. And I was like, oh, I have a Pirates hat that's the same black and blue colors. And I'm like, oh, I swore I wasn't gonna fucking wear Pirates. So I'm looking through the pile, and I'm like, I know I have other hats in that same color scheme. And I'm like, but they're not Pittsburgh. Like I need to represent Pittsburgh tonight,
Mhm.
and this is the only Pittsburgh hat that I own in this color scheme. And I'm like, I'm fucking breaking my damn own curtain. Like I wore the hat. I wore the hat. I did,
I mean,
but
it's fine. You know what I mean? Like I love when we would travel for work and we'd be outside of the state or whatever, and I would wear a Pirates hat and be like, "Oh, you like the Pirates?" I'm like, "No, I love my city. Like
yeah,
I just
exactly.
Yeah.
love my city."
It wasn't so much I was
Mhm.
Like I
repping
don't
it
want
for
to
the
talk about my
Pirates.
fucking baseball team.
I wanted to rep it
I
because it's Pittsburgh and it went with the shirt.
That's
I
And it
it.
was a
I
P. It was a P for Pat McAfee. See, I had it all covered.
see, but that's like okay. When I lived in Philadelphia and the Mets came to play Philly, right? Because you know they're the rivals. You know that those
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
are the same league rivals. I would walk in with my Mets shirt. Ooh, I got I felt like my life was at stake.
I
So
don't mean
you're
to bring
pretty
this up
much
again, but
she was pretty
last
much like Elizabeth Banks in Invincible when she showed up in all the fucking Giants gear inside of the fucking Eagle Stadium and they wanted to kill her. Yeah,
well,
that's
that's what I was gonna
basically what
say.
it was.
Like last night, the guy that won the $2 million, the cameraman found him in the crowd when they announced like his row and number or whatever, and he won the $2
Yeah.
million. And the cameraman finds him, and it's this fucking large fat guy wearing all Philadelphia Eagles gear from top to bottom. They fucking booed the shit out of that guy. He actually, I think, left. Like he had to leave.
Yeah,
Like
I
And yet
think
he's
he.
he,
laughing his way to the bank, though.
That's
yeah.
true.
I
He's
was
like, they
like,
can boo me all they
oh
want. You know, I'm $2 million richer, right? Fuck y'all,
yeah, I got more money than all you motherfuckers in here.
right?
Right?
Yeah,
I was like, that was not good, not good. Even Pat was like, I don't know, we couldn't have pulled that off if we tried. Like having
right.
that guy. But as I said, like he drew fans in from all over the place. Like I said, there was West Virginia people there, there was Philly, there was people from everywhere. So it was a crazy mixture. Most of it was Yinzers, but yeah, that was my day yesterday. And then today we went to Pitt. We went to Pitt today in the
Good.
rain.
Hit win.
No,
No, he played
Like
for his daughter.
Jane had
uh
her
I thought he
orient
was just
like
gonna keep tapping his hat. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I thought he was gonna tell us what he was doing. You know what I
that's
yeah.
mean?
pretty much all I did is I tapped my hat all day.
Because people are gonna
Um,
be like, what? Why did he go to Pitt?
no, so I've told you guys before. So Jane got into Pitt. So today was her like orientation, took the
Okay.
tour, and got to meet people and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay. So I took the day off because it was like a whole day thing. So took the day off of work. She missed school, which I guess they're prepared for because as soon as we walked in and they like were getting us signed in, they're like, here, we assume you missed school today. So they had already like printed out and handwritten like the school excuses for kids. So I was like, oh, okay. Can I get one of those for work? But no. So yeah, so we did the tour, but it was just like I kept checking the weather all week, and it was like, oh, the rain was supposed to end,
Mm-hmm.
after like the morning rush hour or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. No, it rained all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty
But
much.
I think I was that guy, and my wife was that woman. We were the only two, and my daughter did not. She walked ahead of us the whole time. They were handing out free fucking poncho. They're like, well, it's raining out. Here's ponchos. Because our little tour guide had on a
I
poncho.
was just gonna say, I bet you were the only two motherfuckers
Um,
that were wearing like ponchos.
The whole tour group, we were the only two besides that tour guide wearing a fucking pit rain poncho walking
This
through
would have been
Oakland.
the perfect time for Jane to
um,
turn around if she knew it and be like, like just bust out into Gilligan's fucking island. Like seriously. Like it just
but
would have been great. Like
I'm
I
just
would have
as bad
fucking
as
did it.
Eric because I have a whole so growing up in New York, you're always taught like if you get stuck in the snow, what to do, right? So
Yeah.
I have this like clear, I don't know, storage kit in the back of my car in the trunk that has a towel, a blanket, a sweatshirt, 5 different ponchos, an umbrella, socks, gloves,
Here's the
a
thing,
shovel,
though.
a portable shovel, cat
I
litter.
mean, you got to have an emergency kit. I kind of have an emergency kit too. I think that's a smart. That's a good thing. We we took umbrellas. Everybody else in the crew, even my daughter, was walking around with their umbrellas. I had a fucking golf umbrella and the poncho on. I'm still walking around. I stuck out like a sore fucking thumb.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. As soon as you said we had umbrellas, my mind just went, what the fuck did they need ponchos for?
Because
Double
But
the
you were
protection.
dry, right?
for the most part, yeah. There was a good bit of the
So
time where I
win
was
my
like, "Fuck the
vote.
umbrella." I was like, "Fuck the umbrella." I got a poncho on, and well, it did rain sideways a little bit and got in the arm sleeve of the poncho. But I looked and I was like, you know what? Jane goes, well, I'm not going to use this. Why do I want one? I was like, you're gonna fucking want it when you're at that pit game and it's
Uh-huh.
raining and you need a fucking pit poncho.
See, that's why I
I was
have
like,
reusable ponchos in the back of my trunk. You know how many
I
times I've gone
already,
to a Met game where it rained?
I already have reusable ponchos in my trunk. Now I got pit ones to add to the pile.
There you go.
I was like, I don't do that. When it rains, I just go up to the thingy and watch the game. Like,
Yo,
But if
you'll
the
see.
game
I'll
is
be still watching the
happening
game
and
in the
it's a
rain
good
while you're
one,
up there eating.
I mean, I'll be eating. You'll just be in the rain. And I'll just be like, man, how's it looking
I'll
down
eat
there?
in the rain. I don't care.
You got some soggy ass fucking fries.
So yeah, I mean, it was cool though. Yeah, um, yeah, it was. I mean, besides the rain, it was interesting. I don't know. It was.
I'm still laughing about ponchos and a fucking umbrella. Like, I'm like, I
I
can't
would have
get
been right
over it.
there with him though, Paul. I would have been the weirdo right there with him to be like, laugh all you want. I'm staying dry.
I'd be
Oh
sitting
well,
there
here's
like,
the thing.
so
I
what is
forewarned the.
happening?
So we were in this like little mini auditorium thing, and they had we had to watch this slideshow, and there was like this little host. Well, she wasn't little; she was pretty tall, but she had there was this like host that like was asking questions and talking to like the students or the kids, and just explaining kind of what the tour was going to be like and this and that. And then she goes, "Okay, I'm going to bring in your tour guides." And she broke us up into groups, and we all went with a different tour guide. So we were the first group to like start walking out into the hallways back into the building part. And the girl was like, "Hi, how's everybody doing?" And I just looked and I was like, "I am going to be the funnest person you have ever had on this fucking tour." Like, because I could just tell that everybody else was like, I don't want to say snobby, but they had that like uptight kind of snooty attitude, like, oh, like they have money type of thing, and like they really didn't interact, like they didn't ask questions. Like I'm like and here's the thing. I walked around as if I had never been to Oakland or never been to Pitt before in my life. I'm asking, I'm like, why are we, what's over there? Why are we crossing and going over there? And then finally, towards the end of the tour, I looked at the girl and I was like, I work 2 blocks that way. I am born and raised in this city. I know all of this shit. And she was like, well, what the hell? She was like, come on, dude.
I used to be a tour guide when I was in college. So they used to have the juniors and the seniors become tour guides.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember doing that, like, and I was, you would have pissed me off, Eric.
Hey, I made it fun.
I
That
mean,
girl, she's walking backwards and she almost walked into a pool, a couple different people. So at some point, I kept looking, like staring her, and I would be like, I was like her directions. I was like, 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 she's like, look, like, oh, thank you. Like, I was like, I'm being helpful. I didn't want you to trip, because she did almost trip backwards up a pair of stairs that she did not know was behind her, and she almost took a flop. I was like, tour would have been over.
right? We've
Like,
had that. We've had that before when we did like big clean outs and shit like that, and like destruction pickups and move bins throughout like campus. And they'll do that like around now. There'll be like all kind of tour guides and shit like that going on. And the one time we were literally pulling like 3, 4 magliners full of 20 high boxes, right? And
mm-hmm.
the fucking tour is coming with us.
Oh
And I literally listened to one of the parents go, "Is this on the tour?" I was like, "We're moving fucking boxes,
yeah,
Nathan. All
Mhm.
right, we're moving boxes. Like, what the fuck? What do you think? Do they say fucking pit on them? No, no, they don't. But if you're paying for fucking lunch, we're all gonna be back. Okay, like seriously, like we would follow them. We followed them out of the cathedral, outside, and like towards our fucking trucks. And people thought we were part of the fucking tour. Like we were going with them. I'm sorry, there's no supplies in the fucking boxes. Like, what do you
we
want from us?
we had this one mom. She one of the only questions she asked. So the girl was talking about like the classrooms and how obviously depending on what course you're there taking, what your major is, Depends on which building is where most of your classes are going to be, you know? Understandable. The mom, she kind of like does a little like hand raise thing. She goes, yes, question. She goes, yeah, how many kids are in each classroom? She's like, well, again, it depends on your like what your class is, what your major is. She goes, you know, some of the more specific stuff might be a smaller class, you know, 20, 30 kids. She goes, I had a friend that had a class that there was only 4 kids in the class. Like,
Yep.
she goes, but some of the more main courses, like your Englishes and biologies and things of that nature, there could be almost 300 kids in a class. And the mom was like, well, why does it have to be like that? Like, what the fuck kind of, what are you asking? Like, come on.
Because this is an elementary school. This is
Yeah,
college.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of shit
What do you
are
think
you,
is gonna
like,
happen halfway through the class? We're gonna go have nap time
like,
and
I'm just
shit
trying to get to the
talking,
end of the tour where you guys feed us. Let's go, people. Let's feed on the move here.
right? Nathan's buying everybody's lunch. Like,
No, we got to eat at the yeah, it's called the eatery, but it's
the
like
eatery.
the
Yeah.
student cafeteria thing.
Oh yeah. There's a 95-gallon bin under the eatery.
Well, I didn't get to go see that.
Well, why the fuck would you? Like,
Then
I
they
mean,
teased us and they took us into the cathedral. So we go into the cathedral learning, and she's like, "There's this room. It's an old room that has like old furniture or something in it, like 1900, like 1800s furniture." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." She goes, "But it's locked. You can't go in there. You can just look through the window." And I'm like, "All right, well that sucks." And then
that's
and
a
there's another
lie.
room.
That's a
She goes,
lie.
"There's another room upstairs," and I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna go see it." She goes, "No," but some people say it's haunted by Edgar Allan Poe's ex-wife or something, and I'm like, "Again, are we gonna go see it?" And she's like, "No, we're not gonna go up there," and I'm like, "Then
She
why
made it
tell me?"
interesting and then she pulled it back. She's like, "We could go see that. What were we going to?" No, no.
And then she was talking because again, a lot of these kids, these visitors are from out, like not from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh yeah, they filmed Batman here in Oakland, and they filmed what was the other
Wait,
movie she said?
what bat was that? The one with the bat nipples? Which Batman was that?
No, that was Dark Knight. That was good Batman.
Okay.
Not the
Oh
one
yeah,
with bad nipples.
she was she was talking about how they filmed Hannah Silence of the Lambs in the Soldiers and Sailors.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Who here saw Silence of the Lambs?" I was like the only person that raised my hand.
Wow.
That's a good
For a
one
And I'm
to
like,
second, I
know.
thought
"Oh
you were gonna say that they filmed Hannah Montana here. I was like, wait, what?
no." And then she was like, "Yeah, I think they filmed some others." I started down a whole list. I was like, "Yeah, they filmed um the Wallflower movie here. They had the Adventureland out in Kennywood was filmed here." I was like, I went down this whole list of movies. I was like, Dogma was filmed here. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to be filming the new Hershey Bar movie here. And she was like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, well, you're the tour guide.
Right?
Like,
Eric all of a sudden is like, "Do you want me to just give me the microphone? Come on, I got
turn into Cisco and Ebert real quick right here. Let me just run this down for you.
right." But that room with the furniture, um, so if you look at it, no, it is locked. But we had to do like some like it's
It's
not
the one
really
on the first floor.
yeah. So when you walk in, like you have to like there's a way around it, and
Oh,
like
okay, they
there's a
wouldn't take us
way,
that way.
dude. It's long, like because you have to like go through like hallways and shit to get to this door. So
I
once
feel
you get
like you're
there,
putting ideas in his head right now.
so when you get down there, when you get down there, though, it's like it's almost like one of those, like there's an office in there, like back by there, and it it's not really big, but it's like they hold some kind of records are in there. I don't ask, I don't tell. You know what I mean? It's just like go get it, get the fuck out. But it's so
Yeah, she
tiny.
did
And
say there was a lot of stuff in there because she was also saying like the basement because she said a lot of Jane's classes will end up probably being in the cathedral. And one of the things because Jane's going for the film and media, the basement stores a lot of the film media stuff. Like I guess
Yes.
like the library for film and
Yep.
media down in the basement. And I'm like, once again, are we going to go down there? She's like, no,
No.
we just stay
No.
here on the first floor and just walk through because we don't interrupt classes and things of that nature. But you're going to take us into a dorm. They took us into a dorm,
Mhm.
which I thought, I mean, okay, whatever. And they had like a,
Was there a sock on the door? Yes or no?
no, they had
I
like
know
a,
when I was a tour guide, we were only allowed to take them to our own dorms.
they have like a dummy. They take, it's like a room that's not being used. And they
Okay.
set it up so that you can like, it's like a dummy room so you can go in and
Mhm.
see what it would be like if kids lived in it. But the thing was, is it was on the. She was like, but we still have to be careful because it's on the all girls floor, and like she still had to go get cleared, like have security swipe us in and all this stuff. And I'm like, this doesn't seem safe. Like I don't know. Like you're sending.
Right.
You figure like yeah, there was moms like Donna and two other moms, and then Jane was the only girl. The rest were all boys that are looking to go to the school. So it's like, why are you taking all of us guys and stuff like onto an all girls college dorm floor? Like that was weird.
Meanwhile, the boys over there taking notes like he punched in 5, 4, 7, 8.
No, you had to have a swipey card
Yeah,
thing.
I was gonna
His
say.
name was Joel. Make sure you take his fucking card.
But it was like I was like, that's weird. But but I guess the thing is too is like she took us up to that floor. We went directly to that room, which was like at the end of the hall, kind of by itself. And we went
Mhm.
in there. She showed us the room, and then we walked right out and back downstairs. But it was just like, but just the way she explained it, like, yeah, we have to. There, this is actual living like floor. Like, there's people here, and it's the all girls floor, so we got to be careful. And I'm like, then why are we even doing it? Like, I feel like you probably have another empty room somewhere you could set up to be like this show off or dummy room, whatever you want to call it. Like, but we're gonna whatever.
Right. So,
I guess maybe it was also to give Jane an idea of what the hallways would look like. Is it loud? Is it noisy? Is it like, are they all
Yeah.
to themselves? Like, just because, I mean, if she's going to be living on campus, it's a good idea.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. She said like we went we stood outside of a couple other of the dorm like uh housing things down on campus, but we only went into the one. Like she
Hmm.
showed Jane where the well, she showed everybody, but again, Jane was the only girl in the group. So
Hmm.
she was like, "This is where the sororities stay." Jane was like, "I'm not getting in a sorority. Like, not dealing with that." And I'm like, "All right, whatever. But if you want to, that's where they stay."
Hmm.
Right.
So
Next thing you know, she's falling off a roof outside of fucking by Mario's. Let's not do that. All right. Let's keep that. Let's focus on
I mean,
school.
that dorm was only about 3 blocks away from that incident. So
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Let's not do that.
yeah,
Was that your first time inside the cathedral?
no. Um, I was in it once before. I don't remember why. Um, but it had been a long time. So I mean, it felt like it was kind of because like I'm looking around, going like there was some things where I'm like, oh yeah, I noticed like that. I reckon like remember that. But then there was like the way when she was explaining other things to us that again because I know like the cathedral is open to the public technically,
Yeah.
like certain parts are or whatever. But she again was giving us a tour, so she was explaining more of the school side of things, which I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, she gave us the history, like, oh, it's however many floors and the feet and why they built it and all that stuff. And I'm like, that I knew.
Right.
But again, and I kind of visually remember that first floor being in it before, but being in it for the reason we were in it today was like a whole different experience.
Right. I tell everybody with like just people that like don't know the city and then like what they like they'll hear we're talking about Oakland or something. But the cathedral, like I swear, like that main area always makes me think of like the ambiance of like the Great Hall in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Spot. Like very much it's like kind of hand in hand. If you were to put long ass tables in that cathedral right there, it's
yeah,
probably it's the Great Hall from Harry Potter, like hands down. Plus the dim lights and shit like that. Here's the best part. try going and you're like moving something through
Hmm.
there and it's dead ass quiet because the kids are
Oh,
studying or whatever,
yeah.
and you'll shut a door and it's like boom, and everybody turns to you and you're just like, hey, like, uh,
My
hi,
bad.
like, I didn't know that door was that fucking loud. I'm sorry, it's from the 18 fucking hundreds. Like, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it definitely has like that old castle feel. Like it definitely does, and that's it's one of the things. Like, excuse me, like I like old architectural stuff like that. Like that's pretty cool.
yeah, like a pit. Like at the end of the day, like when I have to do pit, and I rarely get like the pit route, but when I am and I go into certain spots that like I haven't been before, like it's like being in like high up in the cathedral. It's fucking crazy, but
Yeah, I've never been.
like going through like the main floor,
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Like I really enjoy it. And then the building across from it, from the cathedral where Xander had his best buddies ball, like I knew where certain clients were, but like I didn't know that like this shit was here and that shit. Like you
what
find out a
building
whole
did?
bunch about it.
What
I
did
don't
he
know.
have it?
I don't know the name of the building. Like I can't just think of it off the top of my head. It's just directly across from it. Like literally across from the fucking cathedral. Like if you're looking at the cathedral, it's directly behind you. Because like Soldiers
Uh,
and Sailors is over here to your left. You know,
soldiers,
ask me what the name of it is. I have no idea.
soldiers and sailors is to your left. Cathedrals
Straight
behind you
no,
or in front of
straight in front of me. Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's a building. How about that one?
yeah,
They have balls in it. Probably.
that's the. It's on Fifth Avenue.
I don't know. I told you I don't know.
I mean, fifth. It's Fifth. Never mind.
I was
Okay.
like, and plus, I'm not closing my app to look at it and Google and all that shit and all that.
No, you're good.
Somebody
Again,
will fact
this
check
was
me.
type of the thing. Like again, like I played dumb. Like she was like, oh well, this is we're gonna cross here. This is Bigelow, and then she was explaining like how the kids get like their IDs can convert into free bus passes to take Port Authority anywhere in the city.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, what's a PAP bus?
Oh my god, bro, you're a fucking kid. Sam would have killed you.
Like
He
I
would have
acted
shot
like I was
my.
such an out of towner, but knew every like I probably could have done this better than that girl because she's from Philly. Like the girl, she came here to go to school from Philly. So I was like, what is it with
Oh,
the Philly shit today?
I
Like,
love, I love when they do when we're doing something and it's around this time of year and this is when they are doing the tours for the kids or the new freshmen or whatever coming in, and the fucking parents are the best because they're just out there like
mm-hmm.
he's taking pictures and whatnot. I'm like, are you going to college or is your kid? Because
Yeah,
like, what
My
the
dad was more like Eric on my tour. He was asking a lot of questions. He got mad at me for not asking questions. Like I was just like, Dad, I don't even know what college I want to go to. I've got accepted to them all. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Like it was very overwhelming. And then when I finally narrowed it down and we went to go take a tour, my dad was like, "Oh, so you'll be staying here? I need to see what the bedroom looks like. Are there like?" And at that time when I went, it was before the merger happened, so it was like an all women's college. There were no men, there were no nothing like that.
right?
But yeah, my dad kept asking all these questions, and then he was like, "Oh, what's over here?" And then because remember,
well,
like where I went to school, it was like it was a Roman Catholic college, and my dad was that one who was like, "Oh, so is that where the nuns stay?"
yeah, that'd have been me. Like I
No,
said, we
no,
had to.
no. That would have been my fucking dad. Like,
No, I'd love to go on a college tour with your dad.
no, no. That's why I'm glad I didn't go.
No,
Could
I
you
would love to go because
could you
he's not my
fucking
dad, so I don't have to claim him. But I'm gonna
could you
watch.
fucking imagine this? Like, oh my god. Wait, wait. So they filmed Harry Potter here? Like, yeah, I see. It's
Here he
the
goes. Here he goes. Joe, here's this one.
yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that sign say? What does that
What's
sign
that
say right
one?
there? That,
What's that one there? What's that? Where we at? Hogwarts. Uh, you got a sorting hat? I don't know if those tables are long enough to fit four of them in there. You know,
where,
given the square footage, maybe like 3 1/4. 3 1/4. You know what? Let me get my tape measure. And my dad would fucking have one.
That
This ain't up
reminded
to
me of like
code.
my tour. We had this building, like, and all in that one building, we had the cafeteria, and then we had like kind of like the main area where you go in, you could have like, just relax and do your homework. There was a pool table, a couple of things, and then it was connected to the bookstore. And in the little lounge area, that was what we called the eagle's nest. And it was kind of like, if you didn't want to eat at the cafeteria, you could just go buy your food. And I remember my dad walking in, looking around, and go, oh, look at that! This is where you can go get your chicken nuggets and your French fries.
See, my dad would be looking over at like soldiers and sailors, and they'd be like, and this is soldiers and sailors. And he'd be like, huh, you can get them both in there. Huh. Well, fucking ahoy, matey. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, please shut up. Please, just for the love of Christ, shut the fuck up.
Well, so
Oh
then
my God.
So here's the thing, though. So we finished the tour, and then the girl was like, "All right, you're free to go. Like, we're done. You got," and they don't take you back to where we started. We're literally in the middle of Oakland, in the middle of they call it the quad, where a couple of the dorms are connected.
Yeah.
And she was like, "All right, you guys are done. You can go." And I get to all the other parents are like, "What?" She goes, "If you need help getting back, I'll show you where to go." And I'm like, "We're good." I was like, "What do we do?" Again, I'm like, "What do we do about the food?" And she's like, "Oh, you can go use those whenever you'd like, at the eatery." And I'm like, "Okay." So we walk up, and me, Dawn, and Jane were like, we'd never done this before, so we're like looking at it, and I'm like, "Well, I don't know what to do." And the like cashier lady can tell, so she's like, come on over here." So we go over, and I was like, "We just finished the pit tour, and they gave us these vouchers to come eat." And I was like, "I don't know how this works." And she goes, "Here, I'll take those." She takes our 3 vouchers, and she goes, "Okay, you just go in and eat." And I'm like, "What do you mean we just go in and eat?" And she was like, "It's all you can eat. You just go. It's like a huge buffet. Like it's if you take a food court out of a mall, put it in the middle of the campus, but everything's all you can eat. Every restaurant is different." And I'm like, "So I can go eat whatever I want?" She goes, "As much of it as you want." And I was like,
Eric's like, say the fuck less.
I was like, I was
I'm
like,
putting I'm putting this shit in my poncho, in the umbrella. Fuck this. Fuck
I
this.
looked at her, and I was like, "You mean all I want?" And she goes, "I ask of you to eat all that you want." She was like, "It's free," or not. Like, well, for us it was free, but normally the kids got to pay. But
Yeah.
she was like, it's free. Go eat whatever you want as much as you want." And I'm like, for a third time, all I want, all I can eat. She was like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "All right, game on." I was like, "Let's
He was
go."
like, just for validation on the third one. You sure? Do you know what you're sounding? Fuck you. All right. Okay. There we
Listen,
go.
and she was. I'm hopefully saying this. She is a sister. She knew I was in there, but she
She
knew what
knew
I was
your
looking for.
mission, bro.
She knew.
That's
She
why
was
she
not playing
asked that
around.
when you asked the
She was
daddy.
like, she put herself in my shoes. She's like, "If that was me, I know what he wants. Like,
Right?
he wants." So we found, like, we're walking around and we're looking at all the different food choices. Jane goes, "What's in there?" I was like, "I don't know. It said something Mexican. It sounds gross." Walked away. And they're like, "What's over there?" And I was like, "I think it's like it was called Farm Fresh or something." I was like, "I think it's like salads." I was like, "That's gross." And we walk. I was like, "Oh, that one. We're gonna go there." And she's like, "What's there?" I was like, "Pizza and pasta. Let's go."
Oh
Like,
my God.
and then Jane was like, "We finished eating. We got pizza." And Jane was like, "Well, there was uh like desserts over on that one cart that we passed." And I was like, "What? Say what?" I was like, "What?" We went back. I had one of everything. I had cupcakes, cake, cookies. I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Eat all we want. Like, let's all we want."
Then people are looking at you, be like, "Look, man, I asked her not once, not twice, 3 fucking times.
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat these fucking cookies."
yeah, I did. And then there was like her, Donna and Jane were looking in there, like, "Oh, there's like a hibachi, not a hibachi, but like it was like a Japanese place where they cook everything in the big metal bowls,
Yeah.
like a stir fry type of thing." they're like, oh, there's that. And I was like, I'm not doing it. And then as we were leaving, I was like, wait, there was a whole other side of the food court that we missed. I was like, we got to go over there. They had like their own version of like a Subway. You get like sandwiches and like hot paninis and stuff made. And then there was like a whole, it was called, what was it called? The food truck.
Yeah, the food truck.
The stand was called the food truck, but that's where you get like
And it looked like a
burgers, fries, chicken
Mhm.
tenders. I was like, now that, again, that's my kind of spot. We need to go there.
Dude, all I see in my mind is the episode of Friends where Joey Tribbiani is like, they're in Vegas and he's like, "This is where I win all my money back." Eric's like,
Yeah,
Fuck this. If this girl's going here, hold on now. No, hold on. Hold
yeah,
on, God damn it." Donna's like, "Honey, what's in your pocket? 6 brownies." I told you. I told you. I fucking told you. Like she said, any as much as I want.
yeah.
Don't open that umbrella till we get in the car. I know it's bad luck, but it's gonna be raining like M&M's, Skittles, some shit. Fucking chicken
We
tenders.
didn't even. So they have like self serve pop machines throughout the place too. Like you just get a cup and you just walk around, just self serving drinks. I didn't even fucking leave the pop station. I just stood there, drink, drink, drink. Oh, need a refill. Oh, right there, drink. I got a line of kids behind me waiting their turn. I'm like, I'm gonna be a minute. You better walk
You know what's
around.
fucked up is them poor kids was sitting there like, "Yo, I gotta get to class." Like, and this motherfucker over here, he just over here slurping the goddamn pop, taking for goddamn ever. Like,
You just
bro, I got fucking sociology in fucking 20 minutes. Like,
went
bro.
back to fucking. I went back to Pepsi flavor was out. I was like, I drank it all. Like I had to get regular. I had to get Pepsi Zero. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll get Pepsi Zero.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was like yeah. That was our. So that was. I was like, hey, lunch is on pit today. Like,
Oh, it definitely was, for sure.
no, it was.
Oh,
It was. Then we walked past. I was like, Jane, they got their own little version of like a Starbucks over there. You can get coffees and frappos and whatever else's, and they got pastries. I was like, they got donuts and bagels, and she was like, I see that, and I was like, well, do we want it? We want anything? We good? And she's like, we're good. All
he's
right.
double checking, triple checking with like everybody. Like, you sure? You sure? You sure? All right. Well, I'm gonna get these bagels while I'm here.
Dude, we would eat, and here's the thing too. We would get up. So we got the pizza first. Like, all right, there's a table. Let's go sit down. We eat, and we ate the pizza, and we got up. We went to a different food thing, and we went. I was like, fuck, I'm not walking all the way back. Just eat at this table. We fucking played musical tables throughout the whole place.
Jesus Christ.
Did you ever watch 2.5 Men?
Yes.
Yeah, all the
Do you
time.
ever see that episode where Charlie's friend, he's out on the deck and they're talking, and Alan comes out and his friend goes, "The mooch," and he goes, "Yeah," and then Alan asks for a cigar and he's like, "Yeah," and then all of a sudden Alan comes back, he goes, "I'll take one for now and one for later."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was definitely Eric. He's like, one for now. Let me get like 4 or 5 cents for later because I don't know.
Yeah, I would have. But every time we were at a table, like we would finish eating, and I would just look at them. I go, "We anything else? We don't. What do we need anything? Somebody want to try anything else in here? Like, let's take advantage of this now because once we leave, we gotta pay. This is the only
He's like,
free
once
time."
we cross this fucking line, it's over.
Bringing his little Ziploc baggie, filling it, it's scraps for my dog, you know.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we had Ziploc bags because our ponchos came in little Ziploc bags. I could have.
Sir, that's for your poncho. Not today. All right?
And then of
Not
all
today.
people, so we're like, okay, we don't know what to do with our dirty dishes because, like, obviously they have like a station you drop them off
Yeah.
at or whatever, but we couldn't find it because this place was so big. And I kept seeing trash cans, but I didn't see anywhere to put the dishes. And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, somebody ask somebody. Like, we're just standing there walking in a circle. So Donna walks up to the first like staff member she sees. Again, this to me it was hilarious. Like I don't. It was just of all people Donna finds in the place to ask, she finds the most flamboyant gay guy in the whole place. And then it wasn't. He goes. So he comes over to us. Like Donna brings him over to me and Jane, and he's like, you guys need to throw your dishes away, and I'm like, yeah. He was like, and he had like his do rag on, like 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 it reminded me of what the heck's his name? The longest when Adam Sandler did the new version of The Longest Yard, and
Mhm.
they had the black guy. I can't think of his name. He played the
Tracy
gay.
Morgan.
Yeah.
No, he
And
played like the
he was like the cheerleader, right? Like he was
yeah. It
dressing up
wasn't
as
Tracy Moore. He was
yeah.
the skinny guy.
Uh-huh.
Tracy Morgan is a head cheerleader.
No, but there was the other guy though too. But anyways, he reminded me of like he could have been one of those guys. Like he could have been part of that cheer squad.
Oh my
And it
god.
just was funny because like he walked over, he had the hand on the hip, and he was eating his cup of ice with the other hand. And he's like, "Well, you got to go down there past the salad place, and you'll see a little room with the door." He goes, "You know what? It ain't even worth me telling you. I'm just gonna show you. Follow me." And I'm like, "All right, follow this guy." Like, and he's switching, walking through the crowd like ain't nobody's business. I'm like, "This is we got a meal and a show. Like I got it
Right.
all." Like,
Oh my god.
this guy was he was one of the best people. I mean, everybody was nice we met, but this guy was way nice. He was overly nice, and
Right.
I was like, "Well, you didn't have to walk us over. Thank you very much, though." And he's like, "Oh, honey, you'd have got lost. I do it all the time, and I work here." I was like, "Okay."
Oh my god. I'm ending it on that note, of course, with Big E is his wonderful culinary experience that happened at Pitt. We'll be back next week. Of course, we are going to shoot the Easter episode. Of course, Eric has already sent this over way ahead of time. So be ready for that. There's going to be some hippity hoppity and who knows, some little
Peter
pizza
Cottontail in it.
action, Peter Cottontail, you know, maybe we'll find fucking some rotten eggs somewhere. I don't fucking know,
I
bro.
got, I got, I got peeps up there. We're ready to go.
I
See?
saw them. Those are so cute.
I'll even look. I'll even be fancy. Those are lights. I'll light up the lights just for the show.
Well, all right. I was like, as always, thank y'all for supporting Pod. I am the Big Show. That is Samantha. That is Big E. And we will catch y'all next week. Later.